Do you have any old ornaments that you've had for years in your home, or Christmas decor that you've had that you've not used in a long time? Well, this is one example of one of the things that I found in my closet. This garland, I don't even know when I purchased it. I'm thinking it was probably maybe 10 years ago. So you can see it's little beaten and weathered, and it just looks awful. And I was just about to throw it away, and something said test it out, see if it still works, and see if you can just kind of revive it. So that's what this video is about. If you'd like to see how it turns out, then just keep watching. Okay, it does still work, but it doesn't matter if it didn't, because I could have just put fresh lights on there. So anyway, let me just go ahead and see if I can get it fluffed out. I'm definitely going to be removing all of these bulbs and floral picks that are on there because they have seen better days. But first I want to try to see if it'll fluff out and start to look decent. So that's what I'm doing here. Just kind of touching each branch just to kind of see what it's looking like. I can tell you I had a lot of falling out because this thing is old and it's dry and brittle. So I am losing a lot of the needles, but I'm going to go ahead and play around with it anyway. Now you can see the bulbs are really worn and, discoloration and all of that. But they were on this thing so tight. They were on with wire and they were really on there good. I mean, these things weren't coming off easy at all. So I really had to work with it. It eventually came to my mind, get your wire cutters. Duh. And Winston was kind of funny through this process because he was sitting there like, what are you doing with that ugly thing? Now, I'm not a crafter at all. So, this is something that if I'm able to pull this off, anybody can do it. Promise you. Now, a couple things that I took off the garland, I am going to be reusing them, but not these bulbs. They're just too far gone and they're all rusted and everything. So I'm going to just go ahead and toss those. And what I can salvage off of it, I will use it. And you'll see how I use that later on in this video on another project. Because now I've got that bug of going through and just trying to see what else I can revamp. I'm very, very confident that I'm going to be able to pull this off at this point. So I'm thinking ahead of what I can use for something else and how I'm going to use this garland once it gets all nice and pretty. Now this is a no spin video. This is all things that I had in my home to refurbish this or revive this garland. This was some ribbon that I had left over from my Christmas decorating this year, and I'm going to go ahead and just weave this into the garland and just kind of use the branches on here to just kind of tie it into place, just like I do when I put it on my tree. And I'm just doubling the garland. I've got two gold pieces, different shades of gold or whatever, which I thought would be pretty. So that's what I'm doing here, is just kind of going through, putting it on here, making sure that it is secure. Now at this point, I have no idea where I'm going to use this garland, but now that I'm, seeing it come to life, I am confident that I'm going to find some place to use this garland this year. Has not been used in years, but I'm going to use it and I'm going to show you how. I did run out of ribbon at some point, or one of the ribbons, but I'm going to go ahead and improvise and use a different shade of gold to finish it off. And I'm putting some little, what do you call those, dovetails on the bottom, bunny tails, whatever you call it, but just kind of making it pretty on the ends. And just kind of crimping the ribbon. The ribbon is wired, so it's very easy to manipulate. I do love that. So this is what it's looking like, and I'm really liking the way it looks so far. So now I'm taking some leftover bulbs that I had, and I'm just placing them into place. Now my color scheme in my main living space this year is like a winter wonderland, so I'm using a lot of silvers, golds, and whites, and so those are the bulbs that I'm just kind of putting in place just to see how they're going to look. Now I don't want to use wire or anything for this, so I'm going to use a glue gun to put these into place. And this part of the video is sponsored. This glue gun was sent to me. It's a Bled's cordless hot glue gun, and they sent this to me to test it out, and I can tell you now I really like the convenience of not having a cord on it. It pretty much works by plugging it in to using a USB to charge it up. It has an on-off switch that you turn on once it's charged up, and it gets hot. You put your glue stick in and it works like a charm. Now what I really like about it is it does not restrict you to being near an outlet when you're working on a project. I don't do a lot of crafts, but when I do, it is nice to be able to kind of take your gun wherever you need to have it. So I'm able to sit here in the middle of the living room floor and work on this project. There's no electrical outlets near me, but that's okay because this glue gun is cordless and is charged up. So I would like to thank them for sending me this glue gun. I do like it a lot. It does remain hot and allows you to finish a project such as this. I do go on to work on another project and it is still going strong. So it has a pretty nice, charge life on it once you charge it with the USB. And so I really do like it. It's really cool. I will link the descriptions for this glue gun in the description box below. So I'm going ahead here and just putting the glue on the bulbs where I placed them and putting them into place, kind of holding them a moment so that they can, dry so that they don't fall off. And this is how it's looking. I like it a lot. And I could not wait to put it into place. So I took it and I put it on my staircase. I don't have an elaborate staircase at all to my home. It's very, very small and narrow and simple, but this kind of spruced it up a little bit. I tried to do it kind of in the swagging approach so that I could still have use of my handrail, but I like the way it turned out. All right, so I'm on a roll now. I have this sleigh here, and I did pick this up this Christmas season, and it was broken when I got it. But I knew that when I picked it up a while back that I was going to find a way to utilize it. Didn't think I would use it this year, but it was a good price. This sleigh was like $40 and it was marked down to $10 at Hobby Lobby. You can see that it's loose on the bottom and it had that big gash on the side. But I am going to be putting some glue on here to secure the bottom of it. I'm using some E6000 and the hot glue gun on this so that it is nice and sturdy and permanent with the E6000 glue. So that's what I'm doing here. And now I have it and it is sturdy. So we're good to go now. I picked a piece up floral foam that I had, and that's from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to set that in the sleigh. I'm not going to glue it in there because I'm not sure if this is going to be a permanent arrangement. I'm just kind of playing around here to see what I had. Now, this is a pick that I had left over from the Christmas season as well. And I'm just going to stick it in here and began to stick picks in there. Most of the picks that I use, with the exception of the one I just put in, which was from Hobby Lobby, the rest of them are from the Dollar Tree. I believe you'll see them as I start to put them out there. Most of them are Dollar Tree. This is Hobby Lobby as well, but most of them are from Dollar Tree. And I'm just sticking them in this foam and just kind of seeing what it looks like. Don't know how it's going to turn out. One thing that I realized, I did need to cut that foam down a little bit. Like I said, I'm not a crafter. I just play around sometimes to see what I come up with. So I did cut the foam down a little bit because I don't want it to show. And that big pine cone there, that came out of that garland that I just spoke about. I saw that. I said, this can be repurposed. So I am using that. A bulb that I had left over, and I'm just placing these Dollar Tree picks all around in this sleigh to see how it turns out. So keep watching to see the end result. Now, at this point, I'm thinking this whole project is going to end up being scrapped and no one will ever see this because it was looking in my mind a hot mess. But for whatever reason, I just kept going. Okay, so you remember that ugly gash that was on the side here? It's just about covered up, and when I'm done, it's going to be completely covered up. I decided to go ahead and just stick a little pick, if I can just get my hand down in there, to stick a pick down in there, and it kind of overflows over the sled, and now you cannot tell that this thing was busted on the side at all. So the moral of this story is if you see something at the store and it's clearanced out and it's got a hole or something like that in it, kind of think through what you might be able to do with it, because at the end of the day, this looks like that $40 sleigh. And I only paid $10 for it, so it's cool. All right, so now I'm on a roll for real now. This is my wreath. I use this wreath every year on my door, but I was like really bored with it, because I've been using it every year. And I just decided to take some of the bulbs out and kind of switch up the color scheme a little bit. Just a very simple switch out, but just pulled some of the bulbs off. These old poinsettias, I took those off. I'm definitely going to be using these again. Somehow I'm going to revive them and shape them up and they can be used again, but I just don't want them on the wreath for this year. I want to change the look a little bit. So that's what I'm doing before I put this wreath out on my front door for the 2021 season, just kind of changing the look of it a little bit. So I've got my Bled's cordless hot glue gun out again. I love this. Again, I can use it at different places of the house, again, without an electrical outlet. That is amazing. And it came with all these glue sticks in the box and also some different color glue sticks too, which is really nice if you're working on a craft project and, the glue sometimes show what you want it to be a different color. You can do that. So I'm just putting my glue stick in and getting started with gluing some bulbs on this wreath.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just...
All right, so here's the finished touches of this wreath. I've added some pops of the green in here. I love red and green on the outdoor of my home, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Now I have this ornament, and this is one that I've had a long time. This is a globe. And so I haven't been using it because it comes open all the time, and I just haven't taken the time to glue it back together. Very simple fix. But I'm taking my hot glue gun since I'm on a roll here, and I'm just gluing this and putting it back together. I love this ornament. If you've been watching my channel, you know I do have an obsession with globes. I have them all over my home, and whenever I see anything that has anything to do with the world or globe, I am here for it. I love it. And so I do love this globe. It's kind of faded now. Like I said, I've had it for a long time, but I want to go ahead and glue it shut so that I can get some use out of it.
It's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire.
Well, that is the end of this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't leave today without hitting that like button, the subscribe button, and the post notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload videos. I upload videos twice a week, and I hope to see you all over here on my next one. Bye-bye.